And welcome to the Friday Marketing Jam Session. I'm Tom Gaddis, your other host, back in the Maui house, Nick Ponte. What's up, Nick?
It's up. It's good. Back in the lab.
It's up in the lab. We're here. We have a great live show lined up for you today. Today, we're going to be talking about the remote millionaire mindset, what it takes to take consistent action on your business and dreams. As always, we're going to do some shark shout outs. We're going to take your questions. We're just going to hang out for a bit and have an all around good time. So, I've got a cool drink here. You should grab one. I'm going to cue up the intro, and we'll see you back here in one momento.
It's now time, the moment you've been waiting for. Get ready for the fastest 60 minutes of marketing strategies and tactics to build your remote empire from anywhere in the world. After 167 agonizing hours, they've finally returned. From the sun-soaked Sin City and the sandy shores of Maui, Hawaii, now back for a brand new Aloha Marketing Jam Session. It's your hosts, the Offline Sharks and Remote Millionaires, Tom Gaddis and Nick Ponte.
Oh, listen to that crowd. They're excited you are back, Nick.
We got Grumpy Dorn. Grumpy Dorn in the house throwing the first angry face emoji on our stream. Shame on you, sir. Shame.
She always likes to do that. She always likes
Shame
to
on
do
you.
that. Welcome, everybody. We're doing good. How's it? Darla King in the house, I see. Michelle, welcome. Maddie, Richie Cronin, welcome, everybody. Excited to have you here. Nick, you got to be feeling the aftermath of the travel, huh?
Yeah, the jet lag is real. It's 12-hour time difference. So right now it's 9 p.m. for me, but 9 a.m. here. Hey, sorry about that. Let me have on do not disturb. How is it possible that people get through? I don't understand that. Sometimes it's doesn't make sense. But yeah, definitely feeling the jet lag. I've been waking up at 3:00 every morning, and
Nice.
and it actually has been kind of nice because I've been like getting started really early, and just when you leave for that long, and I work while I'm gone, but I'm not able to do like creative work on the fly. I can't shoot videos. I can't do those things. And so I feel like those things kind of pile up, right? The stack gets bigger. And so when you get back, it feels really nice to clean off that stack, really start knocking them down. And early in the morning is really the best time to do that deep work. So I've been just getting things done. How about you? How have you been feeling?
Good. The kids left. They're on a weekend getaway with some friends of Miranda's in bustling Kansas. They were out fishing this morning. I got some pictures. So no kids for the weekend. So watch out, Vegas. Here in Miranda and I come. I hope the town is ready. But you bring up a good point there, because the topic of our show, right, is how to build that consistency and how to achieve those things you want. And it's interesting that you bring up the early morning thing. I mean, I know you're waking up because of your travel stuff, but like I am really, regardless of what my wife says, I'm not naturally a morning person, but a while back, probably about, I don't know, 9-10 years ago, I started getting up early in the morning, focusing on what I was doing. And I found the same thing you did, that getting up early helps me to get more done, and it was interesting because when I first moved here to Vegas, Vegas is kind of a later starting town. And so I thought, oh, this will be great. I'll sleep in a little later because everything gets started a little later, right? Like I won't do the 5:30 in the morning. Like I'll start getting up a little later. And like, I found it was a struggle. Like I didn't get as much done. And like, I had to come to that, that humbling realization that like, oh man, I really need to be, getting up somewhat early so that I can do all the things I want to do. Right. Because I have a lot of things I'm trying to check off the box, not just with, work, but also in my personal life and things like that. And, and sleeping in definitely puts a dent in that, my ability to do that. So, it was a good reminder to me that like, yeah, like I always try to think like, I can, take a little angled shot in and don't have to do those things. But you hear so many successful people talk about, getting up early, having morning routines, getting in the groove early on, working when other people aren't around. So you can do exactly what you said, focus on that deep work time and not have those distractions that naturally come about during the day, right? There's no way to avoid those. Once everyone else is up and moving, the distractions start, the little things here, the unexpected things there. And there's really no way to avoid that stuff. And so, like you, I found like being, getting up a little earlier. Now I know some people can work late at night. I find just because of my family situation, like that's really a challenge for me, right? Like I can do it when I need to, but it's not the ideal situation for me. I like to get up, get all my, pardon my French, get all my shit done, and then be able to just do what I want in the afternoons. You know what I mean? Like I like that flexibility. So, it's like anything. If you first of all, anything that's worthwhile doing takes some effort, right? And you have to have some discipline and do some things that you're probably not too thrilled about doing, but you just have to put your head down and do them. That's number one, so, and then number two, anything worthwhile has a price, right? I mean, if it were easy and it were easy to do, everybody would be doing it. And the fact that they're not, shows that, hey, it does take some motivation on your part and your ability to apply some discipline to your life so you can get those things done that you want to get done. And I find another hard part about that too is like I had to really just stop comparing myself to others, right? Like, and just doing what I need to do. Because, you look around and you see other people doing different things and you think, oh man, I want to do that. And it's like, well, but not in that
it's position. The worst. Right? It's the worst. That's why social media sucks. Like I deleted it off my phone a few months back and I felt great, picked it up again for the trip because I like sharing my stories for my family, but as soon as you get back on there and you see all that stuff, it's stressful. I like it for work. I like it for business. Obviously, we're in this Facebook group right now. It's an important part of my life. And so is everybody here with us. And so communicating and messaging there, but like, it's so easy. These things are just designed to be easy, like addictive, And so if you can pick it up and just start scrolling and then you just see all that stuff, it can be very difficult. And it's not, I mean, the world is distracting enough already and you want to set yourself up for success, and I mean, after waking up at 5 a.m. for the last 3 days, I'm like, man, I actually really like this. Why is it's different or 3 a.m. I actually really like this. It's why is it difficult to do that before? Normally I'm like a 7 a.m. kind of guy. Just on my own. But I'm like, man, why is it difficult? And I found out the secret, Tom. You know what the secret is to waking up earlier?
Going to bed earlier?
Yeah, exactly. Just going to bed earlier. And it's not that big of a deal. Maybe it's the future. Maybe it's my already like instinctive, my behavior or thinking that, I'm going to be a parent soon and I'm getting in full dad mode. Because my dad always used to wake up early, I think that's what happened. You become a parent, but so I'm going to try to continue to do it, and the other thing that I think screws people up with going to bed earlier is like alcohol, even just a little bit of alcohol makes people like, it just screws up your sleep. Even if you have like one glass of wine or like one beer, it really just screws up your sleep. And if you don't do that, you just sleep so much better, I think people don't really realize that. And they're like, it's worth it. It's worth it. But, it might not be all the time, actually.
Yeah, it is interesting. Well, the thing that keeps me from going to bed early is Miranda, because she's like, she's like, we are not going to bed before 10 o'clock. We are not old people. I'm like, but honey, I get up early in the morning. So sometimes we'll be up at like at 10:05. I'm like, okay, bedtime. Like I'm like watching the clock until is it past 10? Okay, let's get going. Like,
Yeah.
time to hit the sack. But yeah, all those things do contribute. And it's interesting too. And I think this should be a good observation or lesson for people that are watching this that maybe struggle with this. Like, look, I mean, Nick and I are relatively successful. We do a lot of stuff, but like, it's really easy to slip in and out of these habits and routines, and sometimes you don't even realize why you stop doing it or why you like, well, how did I get away from this? At what point did I get away from this thing that obviously is bringing me benefits, and when I do it, I enjoy it, but still, it's a challenge, and it takes some effort to stick to that stuff.
Yeah.
Nick or Dorn said he's going to go back to a flip phone. Dorn, I was just looking at these phones the other day. They're like, I forget what they're called. They're like a dumb phone. They have like, you can't even put apps and social media and things on them. Like there's a whole market for this special type of phone that just allows you to do the basic stuff, and for me, like there are a couple things I did with my phone. Like I still have social media on there and stuff like that, but I'm not on there a lot anyway. Like I've just never been a social media type person. But I do get addicted to the news and the news apps, and I had to delete all those from my phone and block those websites. And then the other thing that I do,
social media, it's basically social media. Sorry,
yeah,
I had to interrupt you there, but yeah, I mean, you mean social media?
Yeah, social media. Yep, social media. But like one of the big things I did, years ago that I've continued to do that has really made a difference for me is just always having my phone on silent. Like this doesn't even vibrate when I get a text message or a call. Like it's always on silent mode. And because I found myself every time it dinged or made a noise, I'm like, and then I'm like sucked into the hole. So it's like, that is just always on silent. And, I check it periodically. That way I can do it. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Jacqueline says that since she started being self-employed, she stopped drinking pretty much all the time because I hate not being sharp in my thinking. It's crazy, Jacqueline. So I didn't drink any alcohol for about 10 years, like straight, nothing, cold turkey, zero. And recently, about a year ago, I was like, yeah, I'm going to partake again. I've focused for a long time and done the things like, when I stopped, it had to do with wanting to focus and build some things. And I'm like, okay, like I think I've grown quite a bit. And so occasionally I'll have like a glass of wine or a beer or whatever. And even just that little bit is like so noticeable, and you only really notice it if you go to the extreme and you have zero. And then all of a sudden you reintroduce like just that little bit. But if you're always just a little bit, you never really kind of notice it. And man, you can really tell, like mentally and physically, obviously.
Yeah. Richard Cronin says, so your routine is a direct contributor to your mindset. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of the reasons, that I started focus on trying to be more healthy, right? Was that same reason. Like I was already not drinking, and we were at a mastermind group, and somebody else in that group who didn't drink was like, Tom, why are you not like working out and doing something for your health? Because like you're already not drinking. Like that's a huge part of getting healthy. Like your results will be so much better if you just started. And I thought, yeah, why am I not doing that? Right. And so that got me going in that phase of like, yeah, like for me, go like part of that mental clarity too is I know like I just feel different when I get up in the morning and I spend some time on myself and then I go and do a good workout. Like I just feel, energized, refreshed, and it just definitely contributes to, reducing my stress levels, like not getting so worked up about things that go wrong and being able to handle situations. So yeah. Oh, hey, congratulations on whoever this is. 12.
Yeah.
12 years.
Look, somebody else had 45 years. We got a bunch of sober people in here. Shout out to all those people. I mean, that's awesome.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's great.
The thing about it is that I've noticed, I feel like I can call myself a high operating type person. I've noticed that it really slows forward momentum. And if you're like a high operating person, like you have a lot of stuff to do, you have a lot of goals, you have a lot of ambition, that is a horrible feeling, to stop forward momentum. And it has to do with your sleep. It starts with your sleep. If you're not getting good sleep, your forward momentum and your clarity are fatigued, and the deep work thing that you get in the morning is such an important piece of being like a top producing, high performing type person. Because, when we say deep work in the morning, it's not just crunching numbers. It's not just like doing algebra and stuff like that. If you are a business owner and you are the CEO, you are the visionary of that company. Your responsibility, and you may not call yourself that right now, but if you own your own business and you have an LLC and you're trying to get clients and build revenue, you are the executive officer. You are. And your role is to be the visionary if you are the executive officer, whether you call yourself that or not. And if you think about being a visionary, you have to be able to think into the future. You have to look at these different scenarios. What's it going to look like if I hire that person? What am I going to tell them? How much am I going to charge? How is that going to affect my bottom line? How is that going to affect all the other assets or areas of my business? Deep work in the morning for me, a lot of the time, is like looking at the vision from all these different angles with each different hire, with each different, opportunity or product or problem I'm trying to solve. It's a lot of the time, it's not even like writing, building stuff, because at this stage we have so many people working for us. It's more about like delegating whatever it is that you create in the vision, but if you don't have that ability to like sit there with your thoughts and a whiteboard and come up with the vision, you're not able to do that deep work. You're not able to keep the team moving forward, which is what you need to do.
Yeah. And it comes down to, like we've talked about a lot before too, is like taking an honest and realistic self-assessment, right? And really like seeing like, okay, what are the habits, behaviors, and things that I need to change to be successful? I don't really talk about this a lot, but in 2013, like up to 2013, I was pretty much a daily drinker. And I made that decision like, look, this is not propelling my life forward. It's only propelling it backwards. And so, I made that decision to stop back in 2013. I actually just celebrated 10 years last week. And, it has been it has made a huge difference in my life. Like, it's unbelievable the amount of things I've been able to accomplish, do, and just the better well-being I have because of that feat, So to all of you guys out there that have done the same thing, congratulations. It's good. And, if you're in that situation, it's like, look, sometimes you just got to take a look at those things and say, well, what can I do to change this and move this forward? Right. And, it's not for everybody. Not everybody has that, that type of a situation going. But for me, like, I had to get that part under control, which then allowed me to, develop and grow and build all the other habits that I've been, over the years. And I say this all the time. For me, being an entrepreneur has been a journey of like becoming that person, right? Like the person that's on the live show today does things that the person in 2013 couldn't even dream of doing, like had no ability to do. And I've built those. It's just like going to the gym and working out. The more you flex those muscles, the more you invest time in building those good habits and trying to stick with them, right? And if you go backwards, just reassessing and making a recommitment to move forward, like, going a little easy on yourself in the process. But yeah, it does make a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, it's all about the priorities too, like that's the biggest thing. It's like, like you said, like, what are your, like having a clear look at yourself and asking like, what are my priorities? If my priority is to build and to create, like, how can I set myself up for success? And, it might be just going to bed earlier, or it might just being consistent. It might be, being consistent with your prospecting. It might be consistent with your learning. It might be consistent with, just having your health get into better check, it's all important, but
Yeah,
you have
it's
to
all
be honest with
connected.
yourself.
That's the big
They are.
thing. All those things are connected. Your mental well-being, your health, your business life, all of that stuff, right, is connected. And that's why it's so important, I think, too, to spend some time not just on the vision of, your company. You also want to spend some time on the vision of your life. And part of that is like, well, what's your why for doing this? Like figuring out that thing that's like, yes, this is a worthy goal that I can get behind and that I can use as a guiding light to keep me on track and moving forward. Right. Very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank says, it's also important to think, am I waiting for that cheat day? Because that is also not healthy. That's right. I just had a cheat month,
days,
Frank.
no
A cheat
cheat days. Like, that's crazy. Awesome. Well, look, why don't we get this party started with some wins and some celebrations? Let's do some shark shout outs. We got some good ones today.
Yeah, we
so
do.
I'm going to put over the screen here and all right, let's do some shark shout outs. So first up, we've got Yakin. Yakin's a Remote Millionaires member. He got a new client, a business broker in Canada. He's doing Google Ads setup and first month, $1,970 plus ad spend. So $3,500 a month. That is a solid win. $450 for a reoccurring ads optimization maintenance. Landing page blueprint and first landing page $980. He did 30 landing pages from Blueprint for $380. New client keyword research for 2 websites, $1,255 US, plus a $3,000 SEO package in the pipeline. I mean, it's been awesome watching what Yakin's been doing. I mean, congratulations, Yakin. Great.
He's killing it.
Yeah, he is killing it. Next up, we've got Michelle. Michelle signed her very first paying client. Woo-hoo! Michelle, that's a big one. It's a home services jackpot roofing site, $500 plus a monthly maintenance for his Google business profile, $50 a month. She panicked and ended up undercharging. That's okay, Michelle. That's okay. Like, you'll learn from that and be able to adjust that moving forward. And then she has another meeting in the pipeline with another potential client after 6 cold calls. So pretty much 2 deals after 6 calls. Really good. And I know Michelle is also a Remote Millionaires member, and it's been really awesome to watch her comments and her growth in the program as well, too, because this type of prospecting for her was a big deal. Like, this was a big mountain to climb and to just start doing and get comfortable with it. And it's been awesome to watch her doing that. And it was really awesome to see her get some early success right out of the gate. So congratulations, Michelle.
Yeah,
Great.
big congratulations. That first one is always the most difficult one, like I feel what she said about that, about like panicking, because I think for my first 5 or 10 clients, I panicked and was like, oh, I'll do it for this, or it'll take this long, but each time it got easier. And the first one was definitely the most difficult, but the biggest reward, because it really lights that fire in you. And you actually, for the first time ever, you're like, man, I think I can do this, So congratulations.
Yeah. It's a big deal. Next up, we got Joanne Westwood, another Remote Millionaires who's crushing it. She's been having quite a bit of success with Alignable, and they now launched a marketplace and put her services in there. This resulted in her signing a doctor for Google Business Profile Optimization and Management, as well as Reputation Management, $500 a month.
Wow.
That's a solid win.
Yeah, it's so cool. Joanne's been a part of our community for so long, and now that she's a Remote Millionaire, we get to work with her and really see this transformation happen. I'm excited to do that and be a part of that.
Yeah, and by the way, if any of you guys are Shark Alliance members, Shark Alliance Elite members, I believe there is a training inside the Shark Alliance Elite on Alignable that one of our former Shark members did. And I think he passed away a year or so ago, but that training is really good on Alignable. And I think there may even be something in there about Nextdoor. 2 good platforms that we don't really talk about that much, but they're very local focused, which can make them good for generating deals and getting the word out and all that stuff. So congratulations, Joanne. Next up, we got Jocelyn Wing. I did a great interview with Jocelyn the other day. That's going to be a part of something we got coming up. And her wins are her and Randy's Best Town Agents AGM for real estate professionals, business coaches, and nonprofit organizations now has exposure in over 100 countries. She recently sold 5 websites at $2,977 each, plus $1,000 a month retainer. Really awesome to see what Jocelyn and Randy are doing with Agency Growth Machine. They got some pretty smart stuff brewing that they're doing. So really awesome work, Jocelyn, and great work, Randy. I know he's kind of not always at the forefront, but good stuff. Good stuff.
Man, they have like a real thriving business going now too. I mean,
they do. They're really building up something big there. I think it's going to be really great. So awesome to watch that. Norm Thomas picked up a new SEO client, a concrete paver, $1,289 Canadian, looking to add Google Business Profile Manager to their package in the future. So Storm and Norman continuing to crush it as always, and does a great job in the Remote Millionaires community too. He's always hopping on calls with people, walking them through processes, helping them with the things he's learned and developed and built in off of Remote Millionaires. So really great stuff, Norm. Excellent work. So that brings our combined total of $22,940 for the week of June 3rd through the 9th, a grand total of $828,009 since the start of 2023. You guys are crushing it. You know, we're almost about halfway through, right? Halfway through the year, already closing in on $1 million. So, man, really good work. Continue to take action. Continue to post those wins. And, you know, if you're on the fence about doing this stuff, like just look at what these people are doing. Pay attention in the Facebook or what they're selling and get out there and take some action, right? You might be surprised at what can happen when you just put one foot in front of the other and just, you know, kind of, it feels like you're plodding along, but then all of a sudden it's like bam, 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 you know? So really good work, everybody.
Yeah, really good stuff. You know, Tom, I just had an idea because I know somebody asked like, how often do we open up Remote Millionaires? And the truth is we don't really have a regimen for that. You know, it's like when we have availability for the most part. And so one of the things that I thought about, because I did my local marketing call yesterday in Remote Millionaires, and I created some slides that were pretty sick, pretty good slides, drop some value.
At least you're humble about it.
Yeah, I'm proud of them. Well, I got some good feedback from the members.
Yep.
So what I was thinking when we have time on the show today, maybe I could just like skim through them, just kind of show, like tease a little information, show them like, you know, I'm not going to go in everything, but I'm just going to show you some slides and be like, this is where I talk about this, this is where I talk about this. And, you know, if any of this kind of information be helpful with you, maybe you should think about joining RM while you can.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. There's a couple of things I want to get out of the way first, and then let's do that.
Okay,
2 things. One is I'm going to do the member of the week here in a minute. But another thing is on Wednesday, we actually did a behind the scenes live call with Remote Millionaires members and subject matter experts. And who was on the live show last week? Who was on the live show last week when we had Nick
Not me.
and Jason on here? Yeah, I know. Well, you know, people last week were talking about like, wow, what a great live show. You know, you guys should do more of this. We really like this. Well, that Wednesday training was really a lot of the same of what we talked about on Friday, but a little more in depth with actual Remote Millionaires members, what they're doing. Jason and Nick ran that call. It was a really, really great training. So I'm going to put a link to scroll at the bottom of the screen. Don't go watch it now. But if you haven't checked out that training that we did on Wednesday, you should go there and watch it. It's really good. There's a ton of good information in there. And then let's do the member of the week, and then we can launch into what you got going with your slides. So now it's time for... So every week we pick a member of the week. We send them one of these shark treasure chests in the back full of little goodies to help you continue to take action and hit your dreams. We're going to send one of those to some lucky person today. This week, our member of the week is, let me share my screen here, Michelle Howder. She signed her first paying client. Always a good way to get a treasure chest, sign your first client. That's almost a sure win to get one of these sent to you as a member of the week. But congratulations, Michelle. She signed her first paying client. It was, by the way, she had been ramping up to actually making calls, something that she had as we all do, like we're a little trepid about doing that. Some stuff going on. She actually signed this client on her second call. So she made 2 calls, signed a client, but that's when she said she panicked and with excitement on the call and undercharged for the monthly service, but a win's a win. And then, of course, she has another one in the pipeline. So congratulations, Michelle. Somebody from the team is going to reach out to you. We're going to get you that shark treasure chest on the way. So way to go.
Man, second call.
Second
we're
call.
only always that easy. Michelle, you are
if
lucky.
only, right?
Mm-hmm.
If only. Way to go.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Why don't we do the slide thing and then we'll take some questions.
Okay. Cool. Let's let me build some excitement for a second. So who is how many of you are RM members? Put an RM in the chat so we can get an idea, because I did see a lot of people from the call yesterday were also like, wow, yeah, those slides were great, which I totally appreciate. Put an RM in the chat. How many of you are interested in joining Remote Millionaires? Put a 1 in the chat if that is you. And
by the way, too, Nick, while they're doing that, we only bring in a certain number of people every time we open up. And I'm pretty sure we're almost at capacity for this round. I read off a list last week of the people that have joined, and we've added more members since then. So we don't have a lot of spots. Maybe only 5. Maybe
last time I checked, it was 4 actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know it was getting close to somewhere around there. So, if you haven't went and filled out an application or put in to apply to see if it's a good fit, or just talk to us about it so we can see if it is a good fit for you, I would definitely recommend you do that, because the window for that actually closes, I believe, tomorrow night. So you want to make sure you get that in before tomorrow evening. But all right, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. And if you don't even know what Remote Millionaires is, we're going to give you a little quick overview of it. So, Remote Millionaires, in short, is a program where you get a model of our agency, which actually, let me share my screen here. You get a model of our agency, and that agency is doing pretty good right now. Let me see. Okay. See my screen? Oh, no, wait.
I can. The Twilight Zone.
Hold on.
We're looking into the Matrix.
Hold on. There we go. Yeah. So, our agency, I like to start off the actual local marketing call by giving people an update about our agency, where we're at. So these are my slides from last week. So our agency right now is actually sitting at probably around 115,000 per month. If you've been following around at the beginning of the year, it was I don't remember. I think it was more like 50 or 40. So we've basically already doubled. We set a goal this year to hit 7 figures. We're definitely on track with that. And Remote Millionaires is essentially getting all of the deliverables, the agency, a website, the funnels, the SOPs really is like the biggest piece. All the standard operating procedures that we have in our agency that help train the team, and fulfill all the work that we do in the agency for all of our clients. All of our Remote Millionaire members get that. They also get our world famous support infrastructure. So everybody, we have a Slack workspace where we all communicate, and they have a private concierge. So at any point when they need help throughout this process of getting this business set up for them, they have immediate response. And if they don't know the answer from the concierge, they either pull me or Tom or any of the other subject matter experts in to help out. And so we have subject matter experts as well, which make our support infrastructure even more powerful. These are subject matter experts that we go to help build our agency. So anybody in Remote Millionaires gets the same coaches to help them build their business that we use to build our business. Like, we got so much value from these people. We're like, hey, will you come help us to educate the other people in our community? And so that's who we have. shout out to all of our subject matter experts. We have somebody for sales and prospecting, somebody for team building and leadership, somebody for go high level. Tom and I do the local marketing strategy stuff. And did I miss one?
No, I mean, and then we have Jason, who's in with our high level, does
High
the
level.
high level support, and then we have a
Yep.
couple of success coordinators too, and Norm and JT, people that have been through the program, implemented it, and crushed it, that can really help you along the way as well. And people are able to actually book calls with all those people, so like they can book calls and get on actual live calls. And one thing I would say about that infrastructure support and the Slack channel itself is, when Nick and I were first, when we first started working together and we were working on doing things, like whenever we had questions or we're working on something, we were always texting each other, right? Like, oh, what about this? What would you do for this? How's this? That Slack workspace really is like having a direct text line to support and being able to get on the phone. So like Nick said, when, I don't know how many times this has happened to you. I know this used to happen to me a lot. I'd be trying to do something and I'm all fired up. I'm ready to take action. And like, as soon as I get started, I hit the first like roadblock or thing that I don't know, the thing that I don't understand. And like, I would have to wait either for an in-person, like a group coaching call, or send a ticket into support and wait. And it would just totally derail the momentum. The reason we structured Remote Millionaires this way is because we don't want that to happen to our members. So whenever you hit a point like that, you just go to the Slack channel and you type in your question and you can get an answer really, really fast. And the whole goal behind that is to keep you moving forward, right? And sometimes it's not about not knowing something. It's just like, because you're trying to do something new, you're just not sure which way to go or what's important, what's not important. Because all the people in Remote Millionaires have been through that process and know what to focus on and what not. Like, you can just get some really to the point guidance. Like, hey, look, honestly, you're worrying too much about this thing. Like, you just need to pick something and then just get going, right? So it really is kind of, it's just an awesome level of support that I don't know of any other place or program that does. So
yeah, so how many of you get value out of the Facebook group? We have a free Facebook group that you're all a part of right now, and that's a strategy group where we originally started our community, and we just constantly put value into that group and help support the members there. And that's how we started Offline Sharks. Well, think about the Slack workspace and Remote Millionaires as that Facebook group on steroids. Much smaller group, very tight-knit community, and we pay top-level coaches to come in and offer support along with ourselves. We're there offering support. All the insider secrets in our business go on there. And so again, Remote Millionaires, it's really all about the support. Tom mentioned not knowing the answers. A good coach, a good mentorship is somebody who has been where you have been before. So if you're somebody who doesn't have a proven process to get clients and bring clients in, well, you may want to talk to somebody who has a proven process, because they have not only one way to get clients, they may have 4 or 5 different ways, right? It's just like a football coach. Football coach is a great football coach because they have a playbook. They know how to run 100 different scenarios for your team to get the touchdown. So when you're faced with an obstacle, like Tom mentioned, you go to your coach, you go to your support infrastructure, and you're like, what do I do here? And not only do you get one way around that, you get 5, or you get the best, or you get, how about we just give you the assets that we use in our business? And so each week we do calls, and my call was yesterday. And so these are my slides from that call. And I've never really publicly opened up these slides and shared them, but I thought it would be great to just kind of give you the quick view of like kind of the stuff that we talk about within there. And you'll see a link on your screen right now. That's to the live show that we did, that Tom did last week. And you can, if anything that we're saying here on these slides that I'm showing, you can go to that page. There's another video there about RM and our subject matter experts and members. But below that video, you can hit the button and you can apply. You can apply to set up a request to join Remote Millionaires. And so, this person right here that says that they need a coach with context and knowledge that are doing it daily. Everything that we're doing in Remote Millionaires comes from this agency that's doing $115,000 a month. And so if you're not there yet, we have the playbook for you. So I like to open up with a check-in on the agency just to let everybody in Remote Millionaires know that the information that we're giving them is fresh, it's relevant, it's real, it's from a real business. I talked about a little bit how we're transitioning one of our payment gateways from Square to QuickBooks and some reasons why. We just had our agency retreat in Florence. So this is us with a bunch of members of our agency in Florence. Talked about that, talked about the takeaways of having
it. Real quick, go back. Is that the first time you've met some of those people in person?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
so the guy
great.
on the left here, he's been running ads for us, Google ads for our clients for probably 5 years now. He's an ad specialist. Adrian in the blue, that's our project manager. Started out as a content writer, now as a project manager, been with us for about 5 years. Megan on the right is our top sales rep right now. She brought in somewhere between 30 and 40 clients in the last year, which has a huge, obviously a big attribute to why we've increased our bottom line to 7 figures. This is us at the Duomo in Florence, in Italy. We spent the week together working and having fun too, looking at art. We did a tour there. That's us looking at a Leonardo da Vinci painting that was mind blowing. Again, I'm just going to skim through this. I don't want to go like all the stuff that I'm trying to share. Like that's for the remote interview.
All right, I'll stop interrupting you.
Yeah. So the takeaways from having the in-person meeting, why it's good, why it's not, or why you don't need to do in the beginning, how to scale there. Lots of stuff there. We created a bunch of new onboarding forms for our agency for a number of reasons. Not going to go into the details of that, but because we created the onboarding forms to make an easier onboarding process for all of our clients, we just give those to all of our RM members. These are all the links that they get. You're not going to be able to get those forms, but they have them. We made a new hire, our operations manager. This is him, Mr. Tim Vandersant. We give them the job description. We explain to them why we hired him, the process it took to have an operations person who basically handles all the day-to-day stuff of the business. We talked about the rebranding of our agency, going from personal brand to 808 agency as we grow our team and why we're doing it. We share our 3-year picture. So in 3 years, we're planning on hitting 3.8 million in revenue with a 66% profit margin. What does that look like? It's 160 clients, 320,000 per month. That 160 clients, that number comes from just the numbers that we did this year. If we're adding 30 to 40 clients per year, if we just stay on track, we're going to hit that number within 3 years of 3.8 million. And every single one of our RM members, they're going to be a part of that. They're going to get all the information, how we scale, how we grow, all the processes of fulfillment, all the team building, all the job descriptions, the contracts, all that stuff. They're essentially getting a franchise of our business just by being an RM. So if that hasn't excited you yet, actually, you should just go to that link and apply right now. We're going to close the gate tonight. So go check it out. I give you the 10-year picture. Tomorrow night. 10-year picture, annual revenue will be 9.6 million, 400 clients. I have a book recommendation for them. I talk about our org chart, accountability chart. If you haven't heard of Traction, go check it out. It's an amazing book, and you should model it to build your business. We have a bunch of policy changes to how we onboard ad clients and stuff, and I shared all of that with them. So that's it. That's the slides. Obviously, it took a lot longer to present that to them. I'm going to close that secret squirrel style right there. And, we went into great detail on all those topics. I encourage anybody that looked at that and thought that it might be helpful to them to maybe, after this live show is over, go back and review that portion of it. I know I just skimmed through it, but there's a lot of value in what we're doing. Who here type me if you would get value in being a part of a community like that, where you have that type of information coming to you regularly. And not only do you get that information, you get the support from other members who have followed the process, built very successful businesses. Some of them even sold those businesses, and get the support to implement and follow the process. I know a lot of us would. And that's why we built Remote Millionaires, because there's nothing else out there like it. And we want to help as many people in our community. And so it takes a lot of work. It takes a village. How many people do you think we have in that team, Tom, in that support infrastructure?
I mean, there's probably 10 people on that. And that's not counting the people that just on our other teams that help out there. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty big.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in there. And we do that. We have that many people because we know what it takes to be successful in this game. We've been there before. We're doing it now, and we're sharing the model. We're helping people. I mean, it's no secret why whenever you see the shout outs come up every week on this live show, a lot of them are RM members. Why do you think that is? And it's because they have accountability, they have mentorship, they have support. And, it's a very small price to pay when you consider all the things that you get that, we had to pay crazy amounts of money and time investment in figuring it out, the struggling, the stress, all that stuff we talked about at the beginning of the live show, waking up first thing in the morning and having those visionary thoughts about how to grow and start this business and make it move. You get to skip that process and you get to just have the end result. You get to know what the answers are. So I'm going to close my little commercial there. If that sounds interesting to you, we'd love to have you in RM. We have 4 spots available. We're going to stop taking applications tomorrow. Go to that link, offlinesharks.com/BTS-RM, and you can apply.
Yeah, I see some people asking how long is the program for. So we have a couple of different things. What we've opened up right now it's a 6-month program. And that gets you all the foundation stuff, all the SOPs, everything like that. You do continue, like people always ask, well, what happens when the 6 months is up? Well, you continue to have access to the main RM training and things like that. And then I will be just upfront with you guys. We do have a special offer for RM alum if they want to continue to get the phone support and the hand-holding type stuff that's really it's really, really inexpensive. So, but you have to have been an RM member to be eligible for that. So, we have a lot of people that have been in RM for, multiple years since we started. So the value and what you get there and the training and all the information and stuff like that, it's huge. And 6 months is a good amount of time to be able to get everything implemented, get up running and continue to move forward.
I hope we see some of you there, some of you as new members. I know we're going to fill up all of the spots. Like we don't ever have a problem doing that. And so, if you're thinking about it, you might as well stop thinking about it and just, schedule, fill out the app, get on a call with either Nick, myself, Tom, or Jason. And we can talk more about the details, show you more what's in there. And yeah, Frank says he'll book a call. Frank, you should join, man. It'd be great. We'd love to see you in there. Frank the Tank would be a great addition to Remote Millionaires, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah. This is Norm. He's been in pretty much since we started. He's close to 600K with RM alone. That's really, really awesome. Been crushing it. So many people. JT came in, no recurring revenue. I think he only had like one client, 1 or 2 one-off clients. And within, the time he was in RM, he built up his agency and then sold it for like 400,000. He built it up to like 160 grand and then he sold it off. And so, yeah, it's really great. And, seeing people like Yakin and Dan and all the other people in there that just crush it with what with what they're doing in there is really, really awesome.
All right, you guys. Well, should we give away some money and get out of here?
Yeah, let's give away some money. To do that, though, we got to do this.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, cut the chatter. You ain't talking money, then your talking don't matter.
That was funny. I like how you did that. All right. Those of you that know, we're giving away some Cash App money to 2 people that were on this stream that congratulated our shout outs today. And those 2 winners are Doug Page and Miss Darla Weaver. So congratulations.
Woo-hoo! Congratulations. Some Cash App money. Look at this. Norm said his mom can't even believe it after she's been a business owner for so long. That's great, Norm. Don't tell her how you're doing it.
Yeah.
Well, you. Yeah. Awesome. Well, hey, congratulations to the Cash App winners. Again, another big job well done to all the shout outs we shared at the beginning of the screen. hope you got some value from the tips we shared about developing a routine and the habits to continue to be successful, right? Taking a genuine, honest, realistic assessment of where you're at is the first step. And then putting some routines and habits in place to get you to where you want to go. That's really been a big part of what Nick and I do, right? Setting up those routines, those habits. Even though I don't want to, waking up a little earlier is a big one for me. Turning off the social media as much, relegating your views of the news, all those things can help. And really the other part of that is just having a solid plan and process that you can follow, right? Like if you just go to the gym and you don't have a plan, like you walk in and there's all those workout machines and 47,000 different, like, what do? Like you just wander around and it's not very effective. But if you have a plan of action when you walk in that door, like, and you implement that plan, every day, 5 days, 6 days a week, like you can get some serious results regardless of where you're starting from. RM is the exact same way, right? When you're out in this marketplace trying to grow a business, there's thousands of ways to do it. All these different things coming at you. It's really hard to get any traction. So really important you find somebody that's doing what you want to do, that has a proven process for doing it, that's currently doing it. That is key. That is currently doing it. And then follow that plan and process, and that can help you get to where you want to go to, regardless of where you're starting from. So head over to offlinesharks.com, BTS-RM. That's behind the scenes of Remote Millionaires. You'll see it was a great session. You'll get some value out of that. And like Nick said, there's a link there to apply. Make sure you do that. We close it down tomorrow night at midnight. Excited for all the new RM members we have in there. Hope to see whoever's applying, hope to see you in there as well. So if you have any questions, let us know. Outside of that, stay safe, practice Aloha. We will see you here next Friday. Same shark time, same shark channel. And with that, I'm going to cue up the outro and we'll see you later. Aloha, everybody.
You've been watching the Aloha Marketing Jam Session, your weekly marketing live show, always bringing you the latest strategies and tactics to build your remote empire from anywhere in the world. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. You can stay up to date throughout the week with the Remote Millionaires podcast at remotemillionaires.com/podcast and Nick's YouTube videos at nickponte.com/YouTube. We'll be back here next Friday for another live show. Until then, aloha.